Howdy, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good day, whatever time it is for you in this great land of ours. This is a beautiful morning. The sun is shining. The lords of gaming have deemed to grace us with gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2 on this fine morning. Nobody knows what to expect. I'm seeing a lot of sentiment on Twitter, praying to the Lord above for at least 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is the goal, is what we want. We want 5 solid minutes, maybe 4.5. If it was over 4, it'd be fine. Special thanks to Rockstar for this absolutely gorgeous Red Dead mug that nothing is in, totally empty. I literally just cracked it out of the package this morning. FedEx guy, boom, 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 7 a.m. Wait, do not go on the stream, Mr. Jones, until you have your Red Dead care package. Also got some stickers from them. Got a t-shirt that's too darn small, but is super sweet. Maybe you can fit one of the tinier allies. Yeah, we're just sitting here. I'm sorry to make you wait. I know some people are, there's plenty of reactions going on around the internet, and I know a lot of people are probably, everybody's resubbing. Thank you, Ems, everybody. I didn't put the resub list up because I'm going to be a little focused this morning. But, I didn't want to do a ton of lead on this for 2 reasons. 1, to get some more sleep, and 2, because I don't have really anything more to say until we see this thing. I really want to spend most of the time on the back end just reacting to what in the heck is about to happen. But, yeah, fascinating. They dropped this right in the middle of me finding out Simon Belmont's finally going to be in Smash. Really excited about that. Just keep thinking about that up whip to the person, the platform up above. I'm going to be doing that a lot. That's basically going to be my strat, my early strat. I'm just going to be down below, just whipping up. And then while this is happening, chat, the lovely chat, twitch.tv/easyallies, chat is the one that lets me know. Well, Kyle found out, but he found out through chat that I'm alone in the garage. It's just moi. It's just going to be me this fine morning. Welcome also to Reaction Week. Smash Brothers yesterday, Red Dead today. Tomorrow, QuakeCon, Doom Reveal. Ben Moore, Michael Huber will be here and doing reactions. Thanks for getting up early, Iborg Ninja. Thanks for you for getting up early. Yeah, I know they're streaming it on Twitch. I'm not dealing with no stream nonsense. I'm not in a hurry. I hope you're not in a hurry. You might get to see this trailer before I do. You probably will. I have youtube.com/Rockstar Games open right now, and I'm going to be tapping this refresh button liberally. Solomon Customer's King is the current last trailer on Rockstar Games on that YouTube. But let me know. I hang out here on YouTube, and some people will throw links at me like right at the last minute. But it's I got things a little bit different. Last time I've done some trailer reactions, I did them over there on the chair. But we've been doing a lot of reactions here on the desk now that we got our new lights and setup, new camera and everything. And so I figured it made sense to sit down here. Again, anyone from Arizona or Texas or the fine southern states of the United States, I apologize if I slip into this accent every now and then, but I'm just so darn excited. I'm not drinking sarsaparilla. I'm drinking water. Be great if it was sarsaparilla. Woo! And again, not much to theorize on. I think my main thing is online. Are we going to see online? Because we might not. The first time we got a gameplay trailer of Grand Theft Auto 5, they teased online at the end. You saw a person in, some weird placeholder, hotel room or something. It was just, some completely, dark interior that they were in, but they really wanted to show interior to outerior gameplay, and the person looked out the window and a jet flew by, and we had gotten an online trailer, but it was the same kind of quote-unquote gameplay everybody's always complains about from Rockstar, which is I'm seeing what the game engine is like, but I'm watching cutscenes. I'm watching a cinematic camera follow the action. I'm not seeing a HUD. I'm not seeing, what I would deem like a true representation of frame rate and graphics and lighting and all of that stuff finally coming together. So, Westworld reveal will be great. But yeah, I would not be surprised if they kind of echo what we have seen before from the previews from the IGN article. Lots of character interaction, lots of different layers of missions that you can do. But my main thing, the interior of my soul, the question that I have been absolutely harassing the employees of Rockstar whenever I see them is, where, and we'll get to, I'm on the Rockstar page right now, but we can get to this right here. Why are there 7 people on the bottom here? See, right, I'm going to raise the mouse right above them, but what What's going on there? What's with the constant revisiting of a theme of 7 people, really focusing on the posse? Like, I know we have a gang, and I know, like, I imagine when we're hanging out at campsites, to say you're doing jobs, you're hunting, you're foraging, you're getting materials, you're doing jobs for the camp, you're helping the camp. The more you help the camp grows, and your character relationships grow. And but does that extend farther beyond the, like, I'm just a part of the Vanderland gang, so I'm just helping everybody? Or do I have a gang? Do I have a specific group of people that I can do missions with, that possibly at different points in the story? Because there's just so much turmoil we've seen in these trailers. Brothers, support brothers, but people make mistakes. I'm worried about Dutch. A lot of people are worried about Dutch. I don't like you because I think you're going to betray me. I like you because I feel like I can trust you. So, like, we're seeing lots of comments like that denote kind of like a Mass Effect-y side quest character percentage thing, or those meters. Let's see a HUD. Come on, let's do it. So yeah. Apologies if everybody's like screaming that there's a link somewhere. I just want to keep this. I want to keep this on YouTube. I want to go slow mo. I want to replay. I want to watch this thing 10,000 times. Because for a lot of people, this is it. This is the campaign launch of Red Dead Redemption 3. Everything before was like, I like the voice actors, cool. And yeah, graphically, it maybe holds up to the first one. I see a lot of people that are like, I think the first one looks better. I think you're crazy, sir. I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but well, we see outfits or separate clothing pieces today. Yeah, he's changed his outfit up a little bit. He's got the blue striped shirt that, again, I got to hook up one of those. With the suspenders, we've seen that. With the duster, without the duster. I think he's also had like a winter coat, like something that's not necessarily like a trench, meaning like to the knees, but like a waist high, a little darker brown with a little fluffy interior. Like, I think we see him in that in some of like the snowy environments, but this cowboy hat could be a little tight. I could be delirious. Woo! Marty McFly, Clint Eastwood DLC. Clint Eastwood. Would you take a look at those pearly whites? Or my absolute favorite line from Back to the Future Part 3. What are those shoes for? For running. What do you run for? For fun. Run for fun? What the hell kind of fun is that? Paraphrasing. I know that's that one line is that line, but the rest of it, I'm not sure. Here we go. And is this run on a schedule? Is there actually somebody at Rockstar Games that's like pushing the button right now? Or is it just the clock, the grand clock of YouTube that's just going to make it happen? But yeah, thank you everybody for showing up. Again, I love Red Dead no matter what. I will have a strong passion for the series for so many reasons. Love open world games, love cowboys, love the nature, love, grew up in Southern California, love Arizona, love canyons and mountains and snow and wildlife, and just yes, there's so many things. And a darn good narrative, and just Rockstar Games in general. They just make really, really, really good stuff, so. It's up. Okay. People got a link. It is not on their official page yet, but it's up. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple seconds before I just bail. It's all GTA Online After Hours on their site. Official trailer 3. So, like, why is there a link? If it's not, you implore me? I mean, even if you throw spoilers at me right now, I'm still not going to catch them because I'm going to be super focused on this. But, all right, I'm going to step off camera for just a second, get this loaded up. Let me click this link. What? Link going too fast. Where is that? It says it's on the Rockstar game. I guess I'll just search official gameplay video. Talk amongst yourselves. All Okay, folks, thank you for tuning in. Here we go. Can't promise I'm going to talk over this because I might want to hear a lot of this, but unfortunately, got to take the hat off. I'm going to put the headphones on. But here we go.
They'll probably hang you, buddy.
You coming, buddy?
In the late 1800s, America was evolving, on its way to becoming the most powerful country in the world. New immigrants arrived, thriving outposts became towns, and civilization was spreading rapidly into the huge, wild, and lawless frontier.
We know this.
With Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games aims to create a living
There's your HUD.
world
There's your map.
that's not simply open,
There's your compass.
but deeper,
Come on, pretty boy.
more interactive and detailed than ever.
Pretty boy?
Combining action, storytelling,
Enemies
need to
feel
get
good.
those people
Oh,
more.
yeah, that lantern, that lighting.
and gameplay in new ways.
The thick weather.
As you live, ride, and
funny,
fight
it's-
to survive as an outlaw in a notorious gang.
Almost a callback to the end of the first game.
You
Or
get
Red Dead
shot,
Redemption.
I'm happy.
What's the TRT on this baby? 6 minutes. Part
The
1.
game is an attempt to capture this pivotal moment when the age of outlaws was ending and the modern world was born. There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of America's heartland and frontier. From harsh mountain
Gorgeous.
trails and
Gorgeous.
dense forests
The changes
to
in weather.
untamed swamplands and sweeping deserts.
your
Rugged
horse, your
livestock
horse
towns
following you.
to modernizing cities
Oh,
and much
the-
more.
The neon.
All
Look at
populated
that.
with a diverse cast
Or
of
not neon, the
characters
lights.
from turn-of-the-century life.
Now
Electricity.
shoo, please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
You play as Arthur Morgan, a trusted senior gun in the Vanderling gang.
It's cool after
A
just
band
these
of
trailers,
outlaws
seeing all
and
these environments
outcasts on the
again
run
and
from
again
the
and again.
pressures of civilized
I'm
life.
like familiar with some of them now.
You're gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair once and for all.
I doubt it.
Each time they're forced to flee an area, the gang sets up a camp as a base.
Oh,
This is where
okay,
gang
so they're
members
constantly
eat,
moving.
sleep,
Banner
perform
Saga.
chores, play games, and share stories.
Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was. And he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
There'll be an
These are the
achievement for
people
beating somebody
Arthur
at
calls
poker.
family, and you will get to know each gang member over the course of the game.
So, you save the silly bastard's life, then you and him go robbing sheep.
Helping the camp with food and supplies will keep morale high, while spending time with other gang members can reveal new secrets, fun things to do, and opportunities for mischief.
How about you and me go and redistribute some property?
In and out of camp, the world is alive and responds to the player.
Well, ain't this a rare treat?
And your
Oh, hi.
guns aren't the only way to interact with the environment.
That was Mrs. Marston, I believe.
Call out to a passing rider.
That's a nice horse.
Talk yourself into trouble
do
with
that
a
in
local tough
Redemption
guy.
Clear out.
Or out of trouble with a town sheriff. Or intimidate a witness into silence, and more.
Keep your mouth shut. You're dead, friend.
You don't want to involve
Threaten,
yourself with
dismiss, beat,
Confrontations can be escalated or
antagonized.
diffused.
Take it easy. Do what you want. I don't care.
You can form friendships
God, you did it.
or make enemies as you choose.
I'm finally getting to love this character,
Cousin,
thank
you sick
goodness.
son of a bitch.
Ooh!
Your actions have
Permanence there,
consequences,
nice.
and it's up to you to decide just how honorable Arthur is.
Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Shooting
Spoiler
and
alert,
fighting
I'm gonna be a
have
sap.
both been
I'm gonna be a
radically
real
improved
nice guy in this
to
game,
make combat
unfortunately.
deep
Sorry.
and engaging at all times. Each weapon has unique characteristics.
Yeah,
with
fisticuffs is not a
realistic
huge
reload
part of the
and
first
recoil
game.
that always keeps the player grounded and connected to the action
Here we
in a
go.
gunfight.
Here we go.
In a similar way, the bond with your horse is crucial and changes based on your treatment of the animal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
girl.
Some breeds are better suited for certain tasks.
Nintendo horse, let's do it.
Been looking for a decent workhorse like this for a while.
Your saddle and saddlebags can store extra weapons,
Uh-huh.
along with supplies and animal carcasses that you pick
Store
up while
extra
out roaming
weapons,
or
you
hunting.
say. You can't just have them on you all the time? That's
Over
interesting.
time, the bond between you and your horse will grow,
Okay.
making them easier to control in tense situations.
Yeah, he's a great horse, aside from when the devil's got him.
A rich and varied ecosystem thrives in the world.
Yes.
Full of predators, prey,
Yeah.
and scavengers. All smart and sometimes deadly.
You want to come with me? I'll show you how we hunt one.
Hunting helps the camp or earns you money. Wound an animal and you'll have to track them down. Animal pelts and other items you find can be traded for cash to use at general stores, gunsmiths, saloons, and elsewhere.
This is
there's so many people in that room. That's awesome.
And I feel I'm in purgatory.
This is a world that is rich in depth and detail.
Photographer side mission again.
All designed to be explored on horseback or on foot.
That was a cool little maneuver.
As you live the fateful journey of a gang of outlaws on the run across America.
How does this work? Part 2. Here we go.
In the next gameplay video, we'll look at missions, activities, enemy gangs, robberies, other things
the
to
gameplay
do,
video is
and
part
much
1.
more,
Okay.
including the
we're
evolution
wrapping
of
it up.
sharpshooting using the Deadeye system.
Oh, wow. We're going to get a lot of looks at this. Okay. Okay. Very cool. I got an update on chat. I just want to say the most impressive shot in this entire trailer.
And I feel...
Here, let me go back.
Is a world that is rich in depth and detail. Or on gang of outlaws. In the next
Right here,
gameplay
man. Look at,
video,
oh my
we'll look
goodness,
at
look at this.
missions,
The hat coming off, the look on
In the
surprise on
next
his face
gameplay
before you
video,
hit him.
We'll look at missions.
There's like how many
activities.
people in this
In the
shot?
next gameplay video.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. At least a dozen people in this shot. Look at the top of the, how it doesn't just end, how there's this like little middle part with these lanterns, these little tiny windows, and just a little detail on the little arches over there. But the smoke from the gun as he fires it, everybody like looking back and forth and like shuffling their seat. All the costumes are totally different hats, different ages, awesome facial hair. And then he just like clotheslines this guy. Okay. Here's what we're going to do, everybody. Drop that, mute that, restart that, load up chat, put on my hat. All right. Now, I will say one thing right off the bat. And that is, this feels really cozy as far as just what I remember from Red Dead. You know, this like, this feels. Yeah, I wonder if this is like the first mission. I wonder if this is the very, very beginning of the game. But I like that, you know, they show you lots of story elements. They show you wrong speed. No, man, I'm muted. I'm slowing this baby down. Aren't we at 1.25? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm going faster. Oh yeah, what am I talking about? Derp. So let's go a little bit slower. Just want to speed things up for a second. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think that, you know, when they show, like, any shot of the open world, when you see any kind of, like, wide shot, I know I'm supposed to be being like, this game, it looks so good. But, like, I knew it. I knew it looked good. Ever since that first campfire shot with just the smoke going up in a straight line and just, like, the stars and trees were, like, all black and you could just see that one light. Just so I can see, like, the difference, how well this game is lit. You know, like, how dark the nights are. How saturated all the light sources are, like how many layers there are to colors, and like a game like this can typically look drab because like everything's brown and everything's dirty and everything's got mud on it, but it's just such a gorgeous engine. It just looks, it's the prettiest open world outside environment I've ever seen, and I absolutely cannot wait to explore it. Like, that is just so much going on in that chat, in that chat. So I'm not like, oh, this game. The locations are really neat. It's neat to see new locations, and I think the thing that we're finally seeing show off now is the difference in weather. You know, how weather can look. That lizard, I'm gonna skin you and sell you. I wonder if the theater again. We've seen the shows that happen there. Is that Tesla or is that just somebody? Is that Tesla-esque? It's interesting that, like, the guy with the crutch, you know, this guy standing on a corner kind of wincing to himself. I'm sure he's got a story. I'm sure he's got some interesting stuff going on. And it's interesting for Rockstar to show that, to really showcase here's what, look at the different types of people that are in this world. So it's not just like we're filling this world with bodies. And we've heard this before in previews, and I hope this for everything, as this generation of gaming is wrapping up and we're moving on to another generation, just Banner Saga vibes. It's so funny. I really want to... I want to dig deep into these worlds. I don't necessarily need maps to be bigger. I need them to be more complex, deeper. Interesting to see personalities in his gang start to stick out a little bit more. Personalities that we might not have met in the original Red Dead. And we're seeing cutscenes of a lot of this stuff, but I still wonder if we're seeing cutscene versions of, like, is this a cutscene? Is this something we see in a cutscene, or are there gonna be like hangouts with the gang that we're gonna get to see and live in real time? Like, look at that sun in the background. I mean, just the fact that there's a clock that's running this whole thing, running every shadow, every cloud, every the position of the sun, even at night. Everything is. There's just so many people in that room, man. There's so much going on. Love that this guy's drunk. We've seen this guy before. So like by now we've started to see, an emotional depth with a lot of the members of this gang, that we've seen them happy. We've seen them worried. We've seen them, I'm assuming that's Marston's wife, who lived that sort of life before she took off with, John. A lot of smacking people, and a lot of the trailers has been a lot of like, "Hey, you sir," which I just didn't do a lot of in that original game, and definitely, I mean, each of these gameplay trailers that we see, boy, part one got me so excited. I thought we were just gonna watch this like half an hour long thing, but part one meaning there will be other gameplay videos. It's a bummer that they didn't announce where the next one's gonna be. It's 2 months. We're a little over 2 months away from this game, so I'm curious how many. If it's part one, there's probably a part three. Would you take his leg out of a bear trap? That's cool. So yeah, and this is interesting because I think the thing to take away here is probably this shot of this woman screaming at you, that it's like, not only are you going to come across things. So I don't think you put that guy on that ledge there. I think you just found him. I think like that'll just pop up on the mini map, and you'll be on your horse, and somebody will be like, "Help! Someone, if you're nearby, help me!" And you're like, "What?" And then you go up to the cliff, and like, oh, okay, that guy. But interesting to see then that have not just a permanence, because the Red Dead Redemption had strangers, and strangers were actually some of my favorite story elements of Red Dead Redemption. There's a girl that you meet on the train in the opening cutscene. If you boot up Red Dead right now, you'll be on a train and you're listening to conversations throughout the train, and one of them is this woman who's with a much older man, and she's talking about being excited about seeing the Old West, and being scared of the wilderness, and being scared of all the different types of people that she's going to meet there, Indians and or Native Americans, we call them Indians in the game, and she has an interesting journey, let me put it that way, and you keep bumping into her at these question mark spots on the map at specific points depending on your progress. And so I wonder if we're basically seeing the evolution of strangers, or basically what they're saying is everyone has that. Like, if there is an NPC in the game, they're going to remember you, they're going to have some kind of a history with you. And so I think that's really interesting, and it definitely seems to be a huge him bucking the guy and throwing him off. That was sweet. There's so many little conversations that you have with people. Some seem significant, some seem very much not so, but it's great that showcases the depth that they're going for and the options that you have in forging relationships with people. Yeah. I gotta be honest, we still haven't seen that bomb yet. We still really haven't seen that thing that says, no, but online, look at this crazy thing that we're doing. I think the most unusual thing, because these interiors just look better. The environments we've seen outside just look better. These conversations look deeper. The animation looks cleaner. Just everything is just yes, better, across the board. I wonder if we can eke out any other environments from Red Dead Redemption. I love that little horse maneuver. I think the major thing is the gang, which we'll loop around and see again at the beginning of the video. But the gang that little teases of you running with the gang, but I guess we'll get more information later. But the gang moving locations, that's interesting. I think that's going to be interesting to see in open world games, not just specific locations changing, but like a general direction of path. And not to bring up Just Cause 4 now that we're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, but that to me was one of the most interesting takeaways. So yeah, that's Deadeye. They're like, we'll show you what Deadeye's like this time, and that's basically how it worked before. But there's a war in Just Cause 4 that is fighting across the entire map, and depending on your story progress or depending on maybe a bunch of different variables with your general progress in that game, the front line of that war will be pushed back and back and back as it grows toward actually getting to loop this thing too. Loop it, please. Getting to the finale, I guess, or like the last place that you're trying to get in Just Cause 4. So it's interesting to see what kind of path they're going to take. It sounds like they're on the run, so there's like a little bit of FTL in this, where you constantly have the law chasing you. And are we running as a gang just to run somewhere, or are we actually going somewhere? Like, is it like, okay, we have to journey so far, and so we're going to stop because we just need to stop and rest because this is a long journey. It's also kind of a dangerous thing to do because one of the things that will like not necessarily make or break, but those are like the boundaries in my imagination of an open world game, is this assumption that like, no, people actually live here. That people actually just finished playing Octopath Traveler. And like, I think they do a really good job of like suggesting a town, but obviously you're seeing more NPCs than you're seeing buildings that can accommodate them. And so distance is a tricky thing to try to sell in an RPG or a open world action adventure game, because a lot of times you'll go into a town and somebody will have a quest like here, them in the how hard is this really going to be, like, compared to real life, like them going out with a lantern in a blizzard in the middle of the night. He said, I believe he says something to the effect of, we got to go get supplies and bring them back to the group, or we're responsible for taking care of our own. And so they're going out into the wilderness, but it's like, are they traveling 80 feet? Or how far are they really going? So if the campaign is setting up this like long-term, long-distance journey, like when you finally get to go to Mexico in the first Red Dead Redemption, it's very exciting, but it only takes like 10, 15 minutes to get there, where you can imagine crossing the border on horseback actually from the United States to Mexico in 15 minutes. But so I'm curious, how hard it would actually be conceptually for the law to find us. They've said this map is going to be absolutely huge, really hard to triangulate. I'm sure hardcore fans can do it, but just off the top of my head, every single time we see a vista, it's like, wow, this seems like a completely different environment. I don't know where all of this is in relation to each other. We're seeing some cities be repeated, like Blackwater here. So does that mean we're going to be retreading it, or are we going across the river and going east into a totally different environment? Is Blackwater going to be a lot bigger, even though this is a prequel? Who knows? But is it going to be conceivable that they are without, outside of reach of the law? Because for a man that is, for Morgan, what's his first name? Last name Morgan. For someone who is looking out, doesn't want to get in trouble, he spends a lot of time just hanging out in these like towns and cities. So that's going to be an interesting line. And I wonder if, you could choose to be a good person or a bad person, but at the beginning of Red Dead Redemption, you were a good person. You had repented to the law. You were basically an agent of the law. And so I think you kind of started at neutral, and it was your choice whether you wanted to do things the quick and dirty way or whether you wanted to be nice to people. And I wonder in this game if you're going to start, in the red a little bit because you're a part of this gang and because, from the looks of it, you're in jail when this thing starts. But do you think it's necessary to play the first Red Dead? I don't think so, because this is a prequel. So that question came from chat. I don't think so, because this is just starting the story off. I think this will be the kind of thing that, fans like me will appreciate. Yeah, that's I recognize Dutch and all these other crazy people. But if you don't, the story's not going to like pause for it. You're not going to be like, I clearly just missed something there. This is not going to be like watching Angel and there was some Buffy episode you didn't watch. I think this is going to be, I wish there was something in here. I think this is going to be a fairly self-contained story. And the thing that's great about, from what I can tell, that's great about the first Red Dead Redemption is it holds up, and it looks better than ever now on Xbox One if you check it out there. And so even if you go back and play that first game, it's not going to look as good as this. It's not going to run as good as this. The general gameplay is not going to be as deep as this. But it's still a super fun game. I love that you got the names. Yeah, so let's go back and let's take this in here really quick. Let's drop the speed too. Just a little bit here. Because we got this. I think this is the most fascinating HUD. So he's calling out to him. You could do that. You could tip your hat in the first game. There was no HUD for it. So you can greet them or antagonize them. Cool. But I love that Leadmide or something. I wonder if that's a gang or a town. Maybe a town. But yeah, some of these people, you know their names. Some of them you don't. It'd be interesting if that person's just always a stranger. A lot of these people are strangers. Can I change that? Can I learn their names? Someone was a witness to unarmed assault. So that's not a good thing that we're doing there. So yeah, interesting that it's not always the same three options every time. So one was greet when we were watching him from a distance, where I guess this is a good like robbing opportunity. So yeah, we could choose and rob him there. I love that the HUD pops up and down depending on what's going on. Is that a member of our gang or just a random person that we found? There was a lot of that in Red Dead Redemption. Again, it's just her. It's like, sorry, lady. Imagine walking away from an NPC that is screaming at you in bloody murder. You killed my husband. You're like, oh. Ultimate Edition gives tidbits about online. Okay. God, there's so much to absorb today. But just again, focusing on these great characters, lots of one-liners, lots of just really, really tiny slices from these story missions. Morgan actually doesn't get a lot of chance to talk. Morgan doesn't talk a lot in this trailer. A lot of other people do. They're really focusing on other characters. And probably getting a lot of that out of the way in a final sense. God, love just the intricacy of animation now that we're seeing it slowed down. Does that guy in the room doesn't care that we're getting a fight there. That rifle looks sweet. Love seeing the focus on the individual bullets in there, all the bullets flying out of his hand. And again, gameplay looks pretty similar, pretty great. Definitely a focus on like changing weapons here. I wonder if that's the thing. Is that what they're showing off there? That I'm running in with two guns here? What's going on? So he's got the one gun in his hand, yeah. And then, so I wonder if like the shotgun, that's his main gun right now. But then like you always have the rifle. So like if you want, you can have like your main gun in one hand, but if you want to just like bring out a pistol, if it's like low on ammo or something, and you're like, well, I haven't reloaded this yet, really quick. I wonder if there's like a quick draw weapon just with your pistol. 2-barrel shotgun. Thank you for the subs and resubs, everybody. Who would win in a fist fight, Morgan or Nathan Drake? I imagine Morgan's made of a little tougher stuff than Drake is. Drake definitely lives a cozy lifestyle. Drake does not spend many nights sleeping out under the moon, unless if he's specifically on a journey where this is Morgan's way of life. And we got to talk about this horse again. There's just not a ton to theorize beyond what they said. Love that you hunting that beast and then tying it up on the back of the horse. But I remember one of my saddest moments from my playthrough of the first Red Dead Redemption was it's an excellent shot on the horizon. Love the way Buxom throws that guy. You can see his rifle flying away too. I called my horse one time, and it was a brand new horse. I was like, what? And I made a point, like, not to pick up any other horses. I was like, this is my horse. I got this beautiful, it was a little brown coat, little bit of orange in the coat. Wasn't, I think it was kind of spotted, because I think those were there. I think it was tough to get, like, pure color horses, or at least that was, like, the next tier of, like, a tougher horse to break. And to command. And so I had this great horse for a long time, and then I just like whistled one time and some strange horse showed up, some gray horse or something. I was like, huh? And that was like when I didn't get a lot of glitches in the first game, but that was definitely one of them. Yeah, love the hunting, just a little glance there. Love the just tons of detail, people sitting and standing around. I'm very excited to get a bow and arrow in this game. Just so much detail. But you always have to hitch it? I don't think so. I mean, you can hitch it if you want to, but I don't like, if that's true, then I would have lost that horse way before I did. Yeah, I think it was like a story mission thing. I think I rode it somewhere out into like a campsite and then like got off of it to do the mission, and then the cutscene started, and then I was in the mission, and then I finished the mission, didn't have my horse around me, so I called it, and it was just this random horse. And so I'm really happy that it looks like they're changing up. Redemption is still my favorite horse movement. I really like that. One of my favorite things about it, a lot even better than riding around on Roach in Witcher, is that there are multiple speeds, and you can maintain what speed you would like to move at. And so you could keep tapping A to build up the speed to a certain point, and then the moment you hold A, it maintains that. So it's fun to, like, there's so many different situations. Like if I'm on a farm, I don't necessarily want to run, and I don't necessarily want to walk. I just want to kind of trot around or have like a real like moderate speed. And obviously when you're going into town, you don't want to just go at the base speed. You maybe want to go a little faster than that if you're just like trying to get to some building in the background. Wanted, and we got it's interesting that we're a bad guy through most of this trailer. We haven't really gotten to the redemption part of the marketing campaign for this video game. That wanted sign is up a lot. Maybe if when we do another pass on this trailer, we'll take notice of how long the wanted sign is up. But could Roach climb trees? We'll see. We'll see if this horse can climb trees. You never know. Think Bonnie's Ranch will be in the game? I don't know. I think a real easy break would be Blackwater, and then that's the western edge, and we go east. If Rockstar doesn't like to retread too much. They like to do teases, but they really like to invent, create new environments, create new characters, new scenarios. I'm not getting the vibe that a lot of these towns that we're seeing are. I love that he gets knocked out too. Like he was totally not expecting that, and he's closer to that explosion. I wonder if he caught any of that shrapnel. It's weird that it took out the guy on the other side of the bars, but Morgan's doing okay. And there's a little bit of change. His shirt is opened up a little bit more than it usually is. Does Deadeye look trippier in this? Deadeye does not look different. Blackwater's the only town I recognize, so it just makes me think like we're either going north or east of that place. I don't think Bonnie's Ranch is going to be in it. Rockstar has had a history in the past. Love that little family reunion in the corner there. There's so much going on. I wonder if that's a part of some mission, or is that Morgan up on top there, or just a random person? I wonder if you're going to see just very cool little vignettes, like not story things. It's like that's nothing I can interact with. I mean, I shoot them, I guess, if I'm just super evil. But it'd be really interesting to see just these little slice of life moments. I wonder if that's like, obviously we have yet to find out about online, and we're going to get into combat and weapon switching. And they said you can have more guns on your horse, but every gun that you owned in Red Dead Redemption was on your person at all times. So I don't know if that's limited in some way now, or how that goes. I love the guy in the middle is like nervous about watching the fight, and then other people are just like... Yeah, we're not wanted in that shot, so that's just a friendly brawl. And I love that you can see the trail on the minimap, but you can't see it. Is that environment always going to be snowy, or is that something? Will weather be changing throughout this game? I wonder. Those are lawmen. Look at those bowler hats. Yeah, we are just gunning down some cops. And again, just all these different characters we've seen. I don't know about the guy directly behind him, but we've seen that lady before. I love the almost kind of medieval garb that guy has on with the blue dotted shirt. It looks really cool. The ability to carry a weapon in each hand like in Max Payne 3. Okay. Which is interesting. I wonder what the benefit is there, because you got the weapon wheel, and then you have arrows back and forth to switch between different types of weapons for each slot on the weapon wheel. And it didn't take me a ton of time to change weapons, so I don't know really how much time we're saving there. I believe we're 4 for 4 with train robberies. I think we've seen a train robbery in every single trailer so far for Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, I think I have the least amount of takeaways from this trailer, even though this is a trailer we've been waiting for a really long time. And to me, this is an affirmation and not a revelation. To me, this just confirms so many of the things that they've been showing. So yeah, you could see the stop leading button coming up there when we had our horse. So that is we were manually leading. I wonder if we jump into combat with the horse there. I wonder if we have to stop leading the horse and then get into combat. Just the wince from that guy with his one eye. Is that Ricketts? That might be Landon Ricketts. I wonder back there. Yeah, I mean, they definitely sold him. I don't know if that's Tesla. Yeah, that's some kind of gunfighter, I wonder. Landon Ricketts was basically like what if Billy the Kid grew up. And I think it's probably one of the most sobering quest lines that you do in Mexico. It's one of the few people that like really does not look up to John in the first game, like really does not think a whole lot of him, and kind of makes fun of John. He's like the first NPC that one of the first that you bump into when you head to Mexico, and he's holding out in Mexico. Landon Ricketts was involved in the Blackwater Massacre. Okay. I would love to get a younger Ricketts. That would be great. Younger, meaning like instead of being in his 70s, he's in his 60s. But I kind of don't want that to be Tesla. That would be great if that was just like some bumbling idiot that was trying to like be like Tesla. I would enjoy that character much more. And again, you know, like I know they're showing off the character. I love the makeup that she has. There's really harsh lines. But I'm just environments. This is just environment. I'm an environment junkie, folks. Like every single time you see somebody, and it's almost like the duller the NPC, the better. You know, like when there's that shot when he's outside of the general store, and you see like all the people. There's one guy like in the shadows to the right, to the left of the entrance. It's just like, I mean, like taking a nap, and like there's just you can imagine how slow lifestyles were in this era. You know, like people a lot of times just hung out and didn't do a whole lot else. And so I just love, you know, I love the pace of everything in this world. I'm so curious what the audience of Grand Theft Auto Online, you know, for so many kids that are growing up today, GTA 5 was their first GTA. They've never played another GTA game or don't really have an interest in. And so love getting that coffee early in the morning, feeding them chickens. Got to get that seed, going to town, get the seed from those chickens. Yeah, so much detail. I'm so distracted. So yeah, again, playing cards wasn't anything new. Talking to people over campfire wasn't anything new. It's really the depth of the interaction. It's really like getting these stories and not just hearing, oh, that was a fun anecdote, but is that a kid? I didn't see the kid before. Yep, that is a little kid. Oh, I think we did see that little kid. Poor little kid. I wonder if that's... that kid's a prequel kid. I wonder if that character pops up somewhere as a young child in Redemption somewhere. But yeah, I love the camp. It's gonna be really fun to see tents. Like hopefully with these we can go into these interiors. Hopefully like we can see the different tents owned by the different people. It's not just like, you know, tents, but like Dutch has his tent and you have your tent, and you know, different people are established to live in certain areas and certain proximity with other characters. Love that moment, of course. Interesting that there's no HUD there. I get that looks like a cutscene and not you just manually going. So I wonder if that is a side mission. I wonder if that's like going bowling with Nico, where you can like take somebody and go drinking with them. Or I wonder if that introduces the whole functionality of a bar, because I believe when you're at a bar, there's the button at the bottom in Red Dead that says get another drink. And so I did not see that button there. So that's probably the end of a cutscene of you helping that person with something. And then after he's like, let's go get a drink. But just never stop looking at the details, man. Like just the intricacy of his belt going by, those rays coming through that beautiful sun. You can't even see the sun. It's just kind of like bright behind the mist there. The reflection in the lake, the dust in the background there, just that fence, the bushes, you know, rolling in the wind. That dead guy there. Oh, so I guess you killed that guy to the right, and then the law is gonna take you out. Again, we are not a nice guy in this trailer. We have yet to see Morgan the nice guy. There was one time he's like, should I have killed you? I guess that's maybe as nice as he gets. No, he's just sleeping. Okay, good. Hey, cousin, want to go hunting? We need to go get some raccoons for the camp. The kid is Jack. Maybe. I wonder if Jack went around with the gang. I think Jack maybe hung out with, I don't know if Jack hung out with John. I wonder. Yeah, that might be Jack. Kid looks a little blonde, though. How many backstabbings will there be in the story? Well, you'll probably be the biggest backstabbing. Love this slow reveal. Mayhem Blackwater. Wait a minute now. What did that mean? Oh, man from Blackwater. I thought it said Mayhem Blackwater, right? Man from Blackwater. Okay. Help or kill. Love, you don't even have the gun out, so they know that you can just be like, 1 pinky, 2 pinky. What's the Roger Rabbit line? Oh, pities. 1 pity, 2 pity. But yeah, right here. So yeah, we're seeing some slight changes in costume. He's got, well, no, he's pretty much wearing the same thing the whole time. But I just love the animation of all the different things on him. You see his little pouch by his waist bouncing up and down. You see his gun bouncing up and down. Love that he puts his hand on this guy. Like, there's no mistake for the very specific stuff that they're showing. Like, like most of the times when you see something, they're like, you haven't been able to do this before. Like, we're not just showing you him reloading the gun because it's cool. We took pains to make sure every single bullet actually goes into that gun and out of his hands. Yeah, man, it's been a while since I played Max Payne 3. I don't remember. Yeah, I guess just that speed. It'd be really cool also if you could maybe do that with guns that you pick up off of people. So if you're shooting somebody and they drop a gun, it'd be fun to just like pick that up really quickly, have 2 guns, shoot that gun until it runs out of ammo, and then just drop it and then go to your other gun. Again, like tactically, that might not be the biggest upgrade. Again, just all these missions, getting supplies from all these people, taking care of the horse. Wonder if you can name it. It'd be fun if like they had a list of names that you could give it, and like Morgan will actually say it out loud. Come on, Daisy. Love the attention to detail in these trailers, similar to what Nintendo did with Smash Brothers yesterday. Yeah, I'm very curious if this is the same woman who did the VO for Grand Theft Auto Online back in the day when we finally got that. This is Grand Theft Auto Online. Because it's a really interesting tone that you have to have where you know that the stuff that you're showing off is really exciting, but you also know, similar to, like we're saying with Smash, Jones, do you think since Red Dead Redemption was removed from PSN now, Rockstar might reveal a remake before it? Maybe. It's going to take a while for you to finish Redemption, so if they're going to release one, the time is now. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen. I wouldn't keep your hopes up. Maybe after this game comes out. When everyone's done with Redemption 2 and they're hungry for more, well, you can go back and play the original. But yeah, now would be the time. I think their big thing was working with Xbox to make the game backwards compatible on Xbox. I don't know how involved Rockstar was in that. And you got to know I love these various. The first time I saw a wolf. I think like the big thing is wolves would take out smaller creatures. So if a wolf came across a squirrel or a mouse or something like that, it would take it out. And so it's interesting seeing, and the way that they sell it there, not just these wolves like taking a bear out, but, a standoff, that could maybe amount to nothing. That bear could maybe walk away and the wolves walk away and nothing happens there. But just recognizing, that these are animals that don't always get along. Another photography chain. Again, this would be like a stranger mission in the first Redemption. So wondering how these things are structured. This shot's fascinating. So this is like a mission. This is missionary style. So this says Mexico to me. It's very shadowy. It's very like the ruins of something. And so I may be reading into this too much, but I wonder if this is them kind of like nodding that, yeah, we are going back to Mexico. Yeah, we might go back to some Mexico locations that we were at in Redemption. But I don't know. You could also just have a mission in like Texas somewhere. That's also a thing that can happen. It doesn't have to be Mexico. Love that. How do you do this? This little sidestep. What is that thing? That is so much fun. I wonder if you can do that. I wonder if you can like you're peeling out, drifting in a car, like you're doing what are they called? Not circles, but when you just hit the brakes and just like get your car in a big thing of smoke. Burnouts. I wonder if you like burn out on a horse. So I wonder if that's what he started to do and then was like, okay, let's go. So I wonder if you can. Again, I loved that donuts. Sorry, donuts. I want donuts now. And I love that. I loved it in the first game when you call your horse would come running, and then it wouldn't run at you. It would run like to your right and then or to your left, and you could jump on the horse and take off as it was running past you. And so I wonder if they're going to have all sorts of fun variables. Again, you can't beat it, man. 3 headshots in a row. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Oh, wait, no. I think that there was something a little different here. Notice how when he actually shoots, the camera doesn't move. I love this woman in the front here just blocking, like finding cover. Look, she just runs and... Oh, no, she's shooting. Oh, is she on her crew? Oh, that's awesome. I wonder if she's wearing that because we're undercover, or if she's just wearing that, or if she just got caught in the firefight. But notice, like, they tag all the targets, and then when he fires... the camera doesn't move. So when he goes to shoot the first target, the camera is still, you're still in control of the camera. And I believe in Red Dead Redemption, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the camera actually moves, boom, 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 like actually goes back to each of those targets and centers the camera on those targets. It's like a film overlay. Yeah, I think maybe the first game was a little grayer than this. I think this might be a little more brown, but again, that might change depending on the lighting of the scene that you're in. But it's neat. It's like a little less jarring, It's like you're more in control of where the camera's going to be, and then once that happens, I mean, the game takes over for him a little bit, and he's automated, so you're just watching Morgan shoot these people. So it's kind of fun that you can, if you want to, maybe, I wonder if you could like spin the camera around and just see him like low angle, shooting people. So it's interesting. Okay, you do have one little update to Deadeye, because it's funny. It's like, I get so pumped for this, and I could talk. It's been probably 40 minutes since we first watched this trailer. I could talk about this stuff for days, but at the same time, like, I imagine a little pessimistic because I am so sold on this game. I'm really trying to mitigate my anticipation because it just gets absolutely out of control. And so when I see things, like when I see an environment, and she's like, "You're gonna be going. Look at the guy with the 2x4, the plank of wood." Like, what a fun detail. What a cool thing. This guy's like, "Excuse me, going into town." Because, like, there's physics everywhere across this. So if you're, like, on horseback and you're chasing, like, running away from cops, like, shooting, lawmen behind you, and that guy's there, like, you run into that guy, and that guy's piece of wood, like, hits him in the face and goes flying up in the air, and he falls over, and, like... according to this trailer, if you trample and kill him, his wife is going to yell at you later, potentially. So it's like there's so many, just that little rabbit running in the corner of that frame. Like, there's so many details in here that just absolutely take my breath away, that I'm just trying to, like, okay, all right. Like this is interesting. So this is like a cutscene. So we were thrown out that window, not because it just like happened in gameplay and the HUD was up and the minimap was up and now we're getting in a fight. This smells like a cutscene to me, or this smells like a side mission or something. I wonder if that window is going to be broken forever. I wonder how long it takes for that window to get fixed. But now that we're actually seeing gameplay, the interesting thing to notice is when that HUD's not up, because they're really trying to show us, like, case in point, cutscene, here he comes, and now the HUD comes up, and then I think this is a little trailer sauce. I don't think that actually happens in the mission. I think they're ending that moment with a little trailer shot, but I think, yeah, we obviously stay on the gameplay there. And, like, these conversations, like, are these cutscenes? Like, are these cutscenes that update? How free-flowing are the conversations when you actually get into your camp? Is it like, so if I, like, wake up and it's like, okay, we're at this new camp now. I wonder if they're going to denote, like, the day of the week, or, like, we can only stay here for 7 days before we move on, or we'll stay here forever until you finish whatever story missions you got to finish in this area, and then we'll move on. I wonder how hard it is later on in the mission, later on in the game, when you're like, your camp is great, but I have so much to do. Like, I can't stay here anymore. I can't help you guys. I wonder if part of working hard on that in the beginning is that you get to a point later in the game where you don't have to worry about that anymore. But I wonder if you, like, wake up, walk out of your tent, and then there's all these little dots across the camp that there's like, these are the new conversations. These are the updates that you can have. So then you go, and once you walk closer to that person, then it starts the cutscene. Then you do the circle shot around the fire where, like, I remember when my pants got taken down when I was robbing that bank or something. And then you experience that, cutscene fades out, fades up, Morgan's sitting there sipping coffee, smoking a cigar or whatever, and then he throws that out and then gets up and walks, kind of like some of the missions would end in Red Dead. Or if all of it happens in real time. If you just being in that camp, if someone has to say something to you, they'll walk up to you. Or if they have to talk, want to talk to you about something, maybe they'll from afar, hey, Morgan, can I talk to you for a second? Or maybe if you walk up next to him, they'll just naturally start talking. Like this right here, talking to this madam, the HUD isn't up, but, like, that's an interesting angle for a cutscene. I wonder if the mini map just dropped for a little bit, because we do get these little, still these like cinematic trailer shots where that's the reverse of you just walking into town with facial expressions that you'll likely never see because you'll always have the camera behind them. But if you tuned in before I watched this trailer, almost everything that I said I wanted from this trailer we haven't gotten yet. I want to see posses. I want to see online. I want to see. I'm sorry. Just because it's the last pieces of the puzzle. I am telling you, this is going to be one of the top 5 games of the year. Maybe even the top 3 games of the year. There's just no question. Like, because whether you like the story or not, whether you like open world games or not, whether you think this game is too long, whether you like the characters, this is going to be an absurdly deep video game. And going through and finding the details and exploring this world is going to be the best part of it. And I can just tell that. I mean, it's so obvious from all of these trailers. And so there's so much on this game. 85% of this game I'm just sold on. I'm ready. Take me now. You know, like I'm just waiting for those last little details. And it's so funny that we've gotten so many trailers for this. And there's still like some of those big, bleeding questions. But look at those stars, man. Look how bright that is. You can't see stars like that now. We got too many cities, too much light pollution. And it's interesting. It's like, I can imagine my first thought when people said you're gonna be doing lots of missions for camps. It's like, well, interesting, because I'm gonna want to do the story. I'm sure obviously this is part of the story, but like I'm gonna want to get out there and do missions and maybe not necessarily do all of this tiny stuff like going out and hunting and foraging like that. I could see that potentially getting old. Maybe not for me, but for some people. And but I wonder if it kind of works the other way too, where like if you stay in the camp too much, some other things outside the camp pass you by. And so it's like, yeah, the camp is fun, and it's fun to just kind of hang around and get these story tidbits and bulk this up and make your camp stronger. But at the same time, outside of the main story, there are other things you can see in various towns, maybe little side missions you can go on that like aren't going to be there forever and might be affected by how strong your compatriots are or how many missions you do for them. It'd be interesting if you haven't been to a town yet and your first introduction to that town is someone in your camp who wants to like rob it or do something mean in that town. So you're like, well, now I've kind of made a name for myself, or I've kind of got the authorities a little riled up. So now when I just want to go in there and do story stuff or maybe do some side missions in that town, man, oh man, this town right here looks a little different from a lot of towns that we've seen. That farm looks different. I haven't really seen a lot of stuff like that. But this town looks like Armadillo. Just a little bit. This town looks like a town that was right in the middle of the map before. And it doesn't necessarily look... Man, it kind of does. I don't know. I might just be tripping. There's a lot more trees. I don't remember that mountain being in the background, so I might be... God, those clouds really look great, but like... I don't know. A lot of people are wondering if... we're going to revisit a lot of these old locations. People were asking about that stuff in chat. So, but I think 1 hour is way, definitely enough time. That snow in the background. So yeah, let's take some questions before we wrap things up. Just at me in chat with Easy Allies so those stand out. And we'll watch it. We'll turn the volume up and we'll watch it one last time before we wrap things up. Am I hyped? I'm just beyond hyped. I'm just crazy with hype. Like, I'm wearing a cowboy hat right now. Like, I don't, you don't need to ask that question. Do you have any good RDR Cougar stories? I don't have any Cougar stories, but I did fast travel somewhere, and then I went to go get a Coke, and while I was at the fridge, I got killed by a bear. That was fun. When will we see part 2 of the trailer? Well, if there's 3 parts, hopefully in like 3 weeks max. This or Spider-Man, because it comes out first. Any plans to do more EU time-friendly streams? Tomorrow, the Doom reveal. Come back and check it out. Do you want to play as Marston? No. What are you hoping for in the online? That it's more integrated in the single player. What do you think you can name your horse? I do not know. Are you concerned the trailer management have effectively locked in the gameplay? Oh boy. More than one person asking this or Spider-Man. Where can I get bottled trailer sauce? Triggered. Do you think they will reveal a Battle Royale mode? Yes, something similar to that. Do you think that they will space out online release with GTA 5 so people can play the single player? I think there is a solid chance that online will not be there at launch. Do you think we'll see a Sasquatch? Maybe. No multi-character switching. Yeah, I think there will be. They haven't gotten into it yet, but I think there will be. How deep do you hope the friendship system is? Why haven't they announced a PC version yet? Do they hate us? Rockstar just does as Rockstar wants. Have you done the 2 Red Dead Redemption 2 unlock missions GTA 5? I did the double revolver. I haven't done the stone hatchet yet, but that's interesting, and that maybe suggests that the online is coming soon because there are like crossover missions now. Online trailer in August. It is August. What are they? Think they'll go back to Undead Nightmare. I would love a Westworld robot expansion. I think that would be fun. Like pretend all of the characters were robots. So, you know, one of the fun things about Undead Nightmare was that it was separate from the story. So characters that had died or moved on in the campaign came back for Undead Nightmare, almost suggesting that the campaign didn't happen. Undead Nightmare kind of starts like around the midpoint of the campaign in Red Dead Redemption. It's like, okay, now that you've met everybody, what if zombies? And it'd be interesting if they kind of did that, where it's like, okay, now that you've met everybody, it turns out they're actually all robots, and Morgan is this person that's paying the people of Westworld to come and experience this, and it kind of separates like who are the humans and who are the robots, and of course there's a robot revolution. And I just think it would be really fun to see like all of these characters in the Vanderlyn gang all of a sudden like, you know, like become robots. What do you think of, they're all synths, what do you think of the special Ultimate Edition bonuses? I have not checked those out yet. Apologies that I'm not super news focused about all this stuff. I am trailer focused. I will check all that stuff out, and if it is worth chatting about on Twitter, I will tweet out about that. Do you think the game will be standard Rockstar 20 hours or way longer? Yeah, longer might be what they're going for, because again, I think they know that there's not going to be convertibles and jets and helicopters and machine guns and a lot of things that people really, really, really like in apartments and airports and in GTA 5. And I think to counter that, what they're going to bring to this game that is not in GTA 5 is basically take the relationships that Michael and Franklin and Trevor have with their close associates, with their families. So Michael's family, how dynamic that is, that you can keep going back to Michael's house, seeing them live their lives. At one point in the story, they move out. You know, it's like all these different things happen over time that affect Michael in relation to how much time you spend with them and the events that are going on in the campaign. I think they're taking that complexity and spreading it across the entire map, spreading it to everyone. So everyone is a person. Everyone has a history with you. Everyone is someone you have a relationship with. And I think that's the counter to all of the fancy pants stuff that's in GTA 5 and in GTA Online. And so for that reason, I think it's gonna be a really long game. I think the story probably will hover around 20 hours if you really just want to stick to that stuff. But the distractions in this game, I think, are going to be intense. I think you're going to get caught up in all sorts of fun stuff. How do you think the bow Arthur uses? How do you like the bow Arthur uses one of the shots? Love it. We've seen the bow in several trailers now. Love the bow. I'm curious how the arrows work, if they can break or if you can always take those back. Love the fishing. How chill is that? What is your biggest fear regarding Red Dead 2? That it gets delayed. Do you think that there's a time limit related to moving the camp? Something like Majora's Mask? Yeah, I wonder, like, does the camp move on because time has passed, or does the camp move on because it's achieved a certain amount of strength? Does the camp move on because there's like a cop meter that's slowly building up, depending on what you do? Maybe like the meaner you are and the more crimes you commit, the faster the camp has to move? Or does the camp move just because there's a certain set of story missions? And so you can see, all right, there it is. There's the last mission. Once I do that, the camp moves. So I'm going to finish everything I want to do. That would probably be the most courteous method to the gamer, where give me the time I need to finish all the things I want to do in this camp so I don't miss out on anything. I wonder if there's any like achievements that are specifically focused on, do this before it leaves Armadillo or whatever. Do you think that they'll have a standalone DLC this time around? Nope. Everything's going to be online related. Everything's going to be the way. I think it's going to seem more like the DLC from GTA 4. I think they're going to make it less. If you're playing online, you can enjoy this. If you're not, you probably can't afford any of the stuff that we're talking about right now. I think they're going to streamline those things. I think they're going to, when they do an update to Red Dead 2 Online, I think it's going to be more single player friendly. I think you're going to want to go back as a single player fan and experience some of that content. What other setting would you like Rockstar to tackle? GTA in London or GTA GTA in London or Vice City again. Bring back Vice City. Do you think your feelings about John will change by the end of the game? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the game is called Red Dead Redemption. They kept that name. Redemption is going to be the arc. He's going to discover things about himself. He's going to discover things about other people. He's going to come to a head with everyone in this game. There's going to be a pivotal crossing point where he's going to decide, am I with this person or not? And he's going to have to make that decision across the board. And I think they kind of made that decision for you in the first Red Dead Redemption, and I think that's going to be the big twist in this game. Not twist, but I think that's going to be the big uncomfortable mission that is just inevitable, where some of these people we know survived this game, but some of these people I do not recognize. So I think there's going to be a lot of standoffs at the end of this game where it's like, I trusted you, I bled for you, I saved you, we're brothers, how can you treat me like this? And you're like, you're being stupid, sorry, like, I told you I didn't want to do this, I told you not to do this, and you're being an idiot, and so I'm sorry, I gotta take you out. So new GTA in 2 years, who knows? I got so much to think about this coming fall. I'm not even thinking about GTA. Move it up in the Desire Index. Also, trailer score. Oh, sure. We'll save this for trailer score later this month. Hopefully, hey, we might talk about 2 Red Dead trailers. Hopefully, fingers crossed. This was great. This did exactly what it said it was going to do. I didn't think there was any extraneous information. I think they are just teasing online so hard. We've seen 4 full trailers for this video game. We still have no idea. It's interesting that they separated it by parts. I don't believe they did that before for GTA, so that they're letting us know in part 2, we're going to talk about this. Wait, they might have. I think they might have done that for GTA. But I think I might just go flat 9. Because, yeah, there's a lot of information to show, and there's so many details. I think I would... I dig the... I'll put it this way. I like Smash Brothers a little bit more because I think more work was put into it in the case that so many of those gameplay scenarios that I see, I think are... specifically constructed to showcase a bit or a joke or a gameplay element, whereas I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this was taken from just natural mission gameplay that they captured. So someone just played through the game and they picked their favorite moments. They picked the moments very carefully, I want to add, but to demonstrate what was going on. Obviously the cutscenes were very carefully constructed, but I don't know how much assembling there was. I think this just might have been what time of day to set these shots at. That was probably staged. Him with but that's a cutscene. Him being electrocuted, that's a cutscene from the game. So a lot of this, it's really not about how do I capture the thing that I want to show, but what do I show? Because there's so many conversations. So I think that's the real mastery of this trailer, and I like that there's a pretty even distribution of really tiny lines. So every time that we meet somebody, they just say a sentence. So we really don't get there's no scene is really spoiled. You can't really put together where all of these events happen in any sort of realistic timeline. And so I like that this seems like a world where so much is going on. There's so much detail. There's so much that you can glean, or there's so much creatively that you can add to this. Yeah, we just need to see specifically how the posse works, how missions work. We're seeing tons of missions where we're going with the crew. We are with people in various outfits with weapons, and can we choose that? If I'm going on a mission, can I decide to do it alone, or can I be like, no, I'm going to take other people with me? Gosh, the hair, the costumes, the wildlife, just all sorts of... there's all sorts of super pretty. I'm going to have to learn how to play poker again. I'm not good at cards. I like blackjack, but most every other card game I'm pretty piss poor at, so I'm going to have to get better at that. Can I get a woo howdy for the hop? Woo! Howdy, Red Dead Redemption. Thank you so much for popping back up in this wonderful month. This week has been a heck of a week. I got Simon Belmont yesterday. I got some more gorgeous gameplay to fawn over for Red Dead Redemption. I got a Red Dead Redemption Cup. I'm just living the high life right now. I beat Octopath Traveler. Playing Overcooked 2 right now. Hopefully we get Spider-Man soon. Start that review. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for the questions. Again, we are all in this. I do not want to come across as any sort of expert. I want you to believe the passion that I love this franchise, that I'm so excited for this game, that I am going to cover this game in just a bunch of honey and gobble it up when it comes out. But we are in this together. So I really, really, really appreciate people coming in, giving me the link, letting me know this thing was live, asking really good questions, bringing up really good points. I want to discuss this game together. So if you notice any details, at me, at Trailer Jones, let me know on Twitter if you notice something, do a screen grab, point stuff out. Let's continue this conversation because this is a super deep game, and the deliberation and the analysis of this game does not end when this game comes out. I feel so bad for her that she's got to sleep with a guy like that to make a living. Anyway, and because there's just gonna be so many things to dig into, I'm sure I would not be surprised if I finished the campaign of Red Dead Redemption and published my review, and then somebody was like, did you know that you could do this? I remember when GTA 5 came out, one of the things that I found out, I think it was like Games Radar or IGN or somebody, Game Informer, put up an article that was a bunch of things about GTA 5 you might not have known. And one was, if you turn your lights off and you're at a stoplight at night, cars across the street will flash their brights at you to be like, hey, your lights are off. It's like, wow, that is some crazy detail. So if they did that detail last gen, you know what I mean? If they put in those little tiny things that you're just like, wait, what did that person say? Like, imagine how many are in this game. Imagine how many of those character interactions are here, given that these relationships, these character interactions are the beating pulse of this game. That is like what they keep showcasing again and again, keep talking about over and over. And I think it's really their mantra, and I think it's like one of their big goals to really make this basically the most realistic open world in the sense of the people that are living it, in the sense that you get the feeling that I just lived through an era and not just a map. And I think, quote me on that, I think that's, era v map, I think is the big goal here. And man, certainly am I getting that vibe. And I absolutely cannot wait for more. All right, we've hit our hour mark. We got to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. Patreon.com/EasyAllies if you want to support us. There will be more trailers. There will be more analysis. There will be more to talk about from Red Dead Redemption. But we absolutely could not do this. We could not exist without the wonderful support that we get on Patreon. YouTube.com/EasyAllies. You can go for more analysis on this. And 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I guess that's 9 p.m. Don't quote me on that. But check our schedule. Tomorrow morning, Ben Moore, Michael Huber will be here for another trailer analysis of the reveal of Doom 2 or Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal, right? We're going to see more of that tomorrow. And if you don't mind, I'm going to watch this trailer some 10 more times. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Be good to each other. Yeah!